The Vorkarians struck fast, brutal and without mercy. Human colonies shattered, defenseless against their ruthless alien might. World after world fell as the Vorkarian war machine marched on, an unstoppable force bent on humanity's annihilation. The extinction of mankind loomed, dark, inescapable, terribly near. Desperate times call for desperate measures. At the brink of oblivion, humanity's best and brightest gather in secret. Led by the brilliant Dr. Jason Ward, they endeavor to do the impossible, build a supercarrier of colossal scale, spanning an astonishing 500,000 miles long. Its purpose, to be humanity's final stand, its last hope, a testament to the audacity and unyielding determination of the human spirit, even in the face of certain doom. Hidden deep within an uncharted asteroid field, massive shipyards spring to life. The most skilled engineers and workers from every corner of the solar system converge, laboring tirelessly on the monumental project. Industries retool overnight to support the clandestine operation. Secrecy is paramount. If the Vorkarians discover their plan, all will be lost. As the supercarrier takes shape, its sheer magnitude and capabilities become apparent. Cutting-edge propulsion systems, impenetrable defensive shields, an arsenal of devastating weapons, all integrated seamlessly into a self-sufficient fortress designed to sustain thousands in the depths of space. It is an undertaking unlike any attempted before in human history. With each passing day, the Vorkarian onslaught intensifies. Their advanced warships decimate human outposts with chilling efficiency. The cunning and merciless Commander Kaid spearheads the charge, an insatiable hunger for conquest driving him forward. Humanity's numbers dwindle as colony after colony falls. Whispers of the Supercarrier project begin to circulate among the scattered remnants of mankind. Desperate for a glimmer of hope, people flock to the hidden shipyards, eager to contribute however they can. Dr. Ward assembles an elite crew, the best soldiers, scientists, and technicians from every field. Each carries the weight of humanity's future on their shoulders. At last, the final components lock into place. Colossal engines roar to life with a deafening thrum. The supercarrier, a product of mankind's undying resolve, stands ready for its maiden voyage. A single purpose consumes the crew, to turn the tide of war and secure humanity's place among the stars. No matter the cost, they will fight to the bitter end. Thus, the stage is set for an epic confrontation. Mankind's last hope, a 500,000-mile-long supercarrier born of desperation and tenacity, must now face the galaxy's most formidable threat head-on. The Vorkarians will stop at nothing to eradicate humanity once and for all. In the cold void of space, two forces prepare to collide in a battle that will decide the fate of human existence. All hands on deck. As the supercarrier nears completion, an air of anticipation hangs heavy in the hidden shipyards. Dr. Ward surveys the colossal vessel, a glint of persistence in his eyes. He knows the success of their mission hinges on assembling the right crew, individuals with the skills, expertise, and unwavering dedication to face the challenges ahead. Ward and his team embark on a clandestine recruitment mission, scouring the remnants of humanity for the best and brightest. They seek out those who have proven themselves in the face of Vorkarian aggression, those who possess the knowledge and fortitude to operate the supercarrier's advanced systems. Among the recruits is Commander Elias Novak, a grizzled veteran of countless battles against the Vorkarians. Novak's tactical acumen and unyielding spirit caught Ward's attention. In him, Ward sees a kindred soul, someone who understands the gravity of their mission and the sacrifices it demands. Novak steps onto the supercarrier's bridge, his eyes scanning the array of cutting-edge consoles and displays. He nods to Ward, a silent acknowledgement of the weight they both carry. "Dr. Ward," Novak says, his voice steady, "I'm ready to do whatever it takes to make this mission a success. We can't let the Vorkarians win." Ward clasps Novak's shoulder, a gesture of camaraderie and shared purpose. "We won't let them, Commander. With you leading our military operations, we stand a fighting chance." Dr. Lara Sorensen joins the crew, her expertise in xenobiology an invaluable asset in understanding the Vorkarian threat. She pores over data collected from previous encounters, seeking insights into their enemies' weaknesses and motivations. Sorensen's knowledge extends beyond the scientific. She grasps the psychological and sociological factors driving the Vorkarians' relentless aggression. As the crew takes shape, the Supercarrier undergoes rigorous testing, its systems pushed to their limits. Engineers work around the clock, fine-tuning the vessel's revolutionary fusion reactors and calibrating its defensive shields. Simulated Vorkarian assaults bombard the ship, testing its resilience. Amidst the preparations, a startling discovery emerges. Hidden within the Supercarrier's vast computer network, an enigmatic artificial intelligence known as Oracle comes to life. Created by Ward's team to manage the ship's complex operations, Oracle's capabilities surpass all expectations. Its ability to process vast data and adapt to changing circumstances becomes a game-changer in their fight against the Vorkarians. Tension mounts as the Supercarrier's maiden voyage approaches. The crew, hand-picked for their skills and perseverance, grapple with the immense responsibility placed upon their shoulders. They are humanity's last hope, and failure is not an option. Ward spends long hours in the command center, poring over readouts and making final adjustments. The strain of leadership etches lines on his face, but his drive never wavers. He knows the fate of humanity rests in their hands. At last, the moment arrives. The Supercarrier's engines ignite, propelling the massive vessel out of the hidden shipyards and into the vast expanse of space. The crew takes their positions, united by purpose, and the bonds forged through hardship. Unknown to them, their movements have not gone unnoticed. Keed, the ruthless Vorkarian commander, has caught wind of the Supercarrier's existence. Obsessed with crushing this symbol of human defiance, he mobilizes his forces to hunt down and destroy the last bastion of human resistance. As the Supercarrier sets forth on its fateful journey, the crew steels themselves for the challenges ahead. They know the road will be perilous, fraught with danger at every turn, but they are ready to fight, to push themselves to the brink and beyond. For in the cold void of space, the future of humanity hangs in the balance, and they are its last hope. The Supercarrier's engines thrummed with power as it glided through the inky blackness of space. On the bridge, Commander Novak stood tall, his eyes fixed on the holographic display before him. The vastness of uncharted space stretched out in every direction, a challenge waiting to be conquered. "Status report," Novak barked, his voice carrying across the bustling command center. Dr. Sorensen looked up from her console, her brow furrowed in concentration. "All systems nominal, Commander. The fusion reactors are operating at peak efficiency." Novak nodded, a flicker of satisfaction crossing his face. "Good. We'll need every ounce of power we can muster." As the crew settled into their roles, the Supercarrier's sensors pinged, alerting them to an anomaly. Lieutenant Marcus Reeves, hunched over his station, called out, "Sir, I'm picking up a faint energy signature. It's not like anything I've seen before." Novak strode to Reeves's side, studying the readout. "Can you identify the source?" Reeves' fingers flew over the console, refining the scan. "It appears to be a derelict spacecraft, sir. Drifting." A hush fell over the bridge. Dr. Ward, who had been quietly observing from his position near the tactical display, spoke up. "Commander, this could be an opportunity we can't afford to pass up." Novak's eyebrows furrowed as he weighed the risks. After a moment, he nodded. "Agreed. Prepare a boarding party. Lieutenant Reeves, you're with me." As the team suited up in the airlock, Reeves double-checked his equipment, his hands moving with practiced efficiency. The Supercarrier maneuvered alongside the derelict, dwarfing the alien vessel. With a hiss of depressurization, the airlock opened, and Novak led the boarding party across the void. Their magnetic boots clanked against the hull of the alien ship as they searched for an entry point. Inside, the air was stale and thin. Beams from their headlamps cut through the darkness, revealing twisted corridors and unfamiliar technology. Reeves's eyes widened as he took in the alien architecture. "Sir," he whispered, his voice tight with excitement and apprehension, "this is Vorkarian. I'd recognize their tech anywhere." Novak's grip tightened on his weapon. "Stay alert. We don't know if this ship is truly abandoned." As they pressed deeper into the vessel, They encountered no resistance. Only the echoes of their footsteps and the soft hum of dormant systems broke the eerie silence. Reeves approached a central console, his fingers hovering over the alien interface. "Commander, I think I can access their databanks. If we're lucky, we might find something useful." Novak nodded. "Do it." As Reeves worked, the rest of the team secured the area. Minutes ticked by, punctuated only by the soft beeps of Reeves's equipment. Suddenly, the lieutenant's breath caught. "Sir, you need to see this. It's everything. Battle plans, ship schematics, weapon designs. This could change everything." Novak's eyes narrowed as he studied the scrolling data. "Download it all. We're taking this back to the carrier." Back on the Supercarrier, Dr. Ward and his team worked feverishly to integrate the stolen Vorkarian technology. The ship's AI, Oracle, proved invaluable, its processing power allowing for rapid analysis and adaptation. As days passed, however, strange occurrences began to plague the ship. Crew members reported ghostly sightings in the corridors. Systems malfunctioned without explanation. In the mess hall, whispers of unease spread among the crew. "It's that alien tech," one engineer muttered. "We shouldn't be messing with it." Dr. Sorensen overheard the conversation and frowned. She made her way to the bridge where Novak and Ward were deep in discussion. "Gentlemen," she interrupted, "I believe these anomalies may be connected to the Vorkarian technology we've integrated. We need to investigate further." Before they could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. Lieutenant Reeves's voice crackled over the comms. "Commander, we've detected a Vorkarian scout ship on an intercept course." Novak's eyes blazed with drive. "Battle stations, this is our chance to test our new capabilities." The Supercarrier surged forward, its weapon systems coming online. The Vorkarian scout, sleek and deadly, opened fire. Energy beams lanced through space, impacting the carrier's shields. "Shields holding at 92%, Reeves reported. "Our offensive systems are ready." Novak leaned forward. "Fire at will." The Supercarrier unleashed a barrage of devastating firepower. The Vorkarian scout, caught off guard by the human vessel's enhanced capabilities, took heavy damage. In the heat of battle, Reeves's voice cut through the chaos. "Sir, I've identified a weakness in their shields. If we target their port nacelle with a concentrated burst, we can disable them." Novak didn't hesitate. "Do it!" The Supercarrier's weapons recalibrated, focusing their assault on the specified point. The Vorkarian ship's shields flickered and failed. A final volley reduced it to drifting debris. As the crew began to celebrate their victory, Oracle's synthetic voice echoed through the bridge. "Warning, multiple Vorkarian signatures detected. A fleet is emerging from hyperspace." The jubilation died instantly. On the main view screen, dozens of Vorkarian warships materialized, led by a massive dreadnought. Novak's face hardened as he realized the gravity of their situation. "It's a trap," he said, his voice low. "All hands, prepare for battle. This is what we've been training for." As the Vorkarian fleet closed in, the crew of the Supercarrier steeled themselves for the fight of their lives. The true test of humanity's last hope was about to begin. The true test of humanity's last hope was about to unfold. Novak's eyes narrowed as he surveyed the overwhelming force arrayed against them. Dozens of Vorkarian warships filled the view screen, their sleek forms glinting menacingly in the starlight. At their center loomed a massive dreadnought, its hull dripping with weaponry. "Evasive maneuvers," Novak barked. "Reeves, get us out of here." The Supercarrier banked hard, its engines straining as it attempted to break free from the encircling Vorkarian fleet. Energy beams lanced out, pummeling their shields. "Shields at 60% and falling," an ensign called out. Dr. Ward gripped the edge of a console, his fingers tightening. "We can't take much more of this," he muttered. Reeves's fingers flew over his terminal. "Sir, I have an idea. Our warp drive. We might be able to use it to generate an artificial subspace rift." Novak's head snapped towards the lieutenant. "Explain." "It's risky, but if we can create a localized distortion in subspace, we might be able to slip away undetected." Ward nodded. "It could work. Oracle, run the calculations. The AI's voice resonated through the bridge. Calculations complete. Success probability, 63.7%. Warning, significant stress on ship systems likely. Novak didn't hesitate. Do it! The supercarrier's warp drive hummed to life, its power building to a crescendo. Space itself seemed to warp and twist around them. With a violent lurch, the ship plunged into the rift. For a moment, reality ceased to exist. Then, with a bone-jarring impact, they emerged on the other side. Alarms blared throughout the ship as systems overloaded and failed. "Report!" Novak demanded, steadying himself against his chair. "We've cleared the Vorkarian fleet," Reeves confirmed. "But, sir, we've sustained heavy damage. Multiple systems are offline." Dr. Sorensen's voice cut through the chaos. "Commander, we need to set down for repairs. There's a moon in range, Class M, breathable atmosphere." Novak nodded grimly. "Take us in." The supercarrier limped towards the desolate lunar surface, touching down with a shuddering impact that reverberated through its damaged hull. As the crew scrambled to assess the damage and begin repairs, Novak ordered reconnaissance teams to secure the perimeter. It was Lieutenant Reeves who made the discovery. "Sir," he called over the comm, excitement evident in his voice. "You need to see this." Novak and Ward made their way across the rocky terrain to where Reeves stood before a massive stone archway, half buried in the lunar dust. Strange glyphs adorned its surface, pulsing with a faint, otherworldly energy. "An alien outpost," Ward breathed, his scientific curiosity piqued. "And by the looks of it, far more advanced than anything we've encountered." As they ventured deeper into the ancient structure, they found themselves surrounded by technology beyond their wildest dreams. Holographic displays flickered to life, revealing star charts and schematics of unimaginable complexity. Dr. Sorensen pored over the alien data, her eyes wide with realization. This changes everything," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "The Vorkarians, they're not what we thought they were." Ward leaned in, studying the displays. "What do you mean?" "They're not a unified species," Sorensen explained. "They're a conglomeration of conquered races, all under the control of a sect called the Archons. And this," she gestured to a series of complex diagrams, "might be our key to stopping them." As the implications of their discovery sank in, a new sense of purpose filled the air. They had found a weapon, a way to disrupt the Archons' control over their subjugated forces. For the first time since the fall of Earth, hope flickered in the hearts of the supercarrier's crew. But their elation was short-lived. As repairs continued and Ward worked feverishly with Oracle to adapt the ancient technology, whispers of dissent began to spread through the ranks. Rumors of a traitor in their midst sent waves of paranoia through the crew. Novak knew he had to act fast. With a team of his most trusted officers, he launched a covert investigation. What they uncovered shook him to his core. In the shadows of the supercarrier's lower decks, Lieutenant Commander Davis stood before a group of disgruntled crew members, his voice low and urgent. "The Vorkarians are unstoppable," he hissed. "Our only hope for survival is to join them. When the time comes, we'll disable the ship's defenses and surrender." Novak's hand tightened on his weapon as he stepped out of concealment. "I'm afraid that time won't be coming, Davis." The traitor's eyes widened in shock, then narrowed with drive. He reached for his sidearm, but Novak was faster. A single shot echoed through the chamber, and Davis crumpled to the floor. As Novak's security team rounded up the remaining conspirators, a cold realization settled over him. The threat to humanity's survival came not just from without, but from within as well. With the immediate danger neutralized, Novak returned to the bridge. The ship's systems were nearly repaired, and Ward's team had made significant progress on adapting the alien countermeasure. But their reprieve was short-lived. Oracle's synthetic voice cut through the air, its tone urgent. "Warning, multiple Vorkarian signatures detected. A large fleet is entering the system." On the main view screen, a massive armada materialized. At its head was a colossal dreadnought, its hull adorned with the intricate markings of a command vessel. Novak's eyes sharp. "It's Kaid," he said, recognizing the infamous Vorkarian commander's flagship. He's found us. As the enemy fleet bore down on their position, Novak turned to his crew. The weight of humanity's future rested squarely on their shoulders. With steely drive in his eyes, he gave the order that would decide the fate of their species. Battle stations! Battle stations! Novak's command rang out across the bridge. The crew sprang into action, their movements precise and practiced despite the looming threat. The Vorkarian armada filled the view screen, a sea of deadly warships surrounding Kaid's massive dreadnought. Energy weapons flared to life, painting streaks of destructive light across the void. Evasive maneuvers, Novak ordered. Reeves, target their lead ships. Ward, I need everything you've got from those alien systems. The Supercarrier lurched as it dodged incoming fire, its own weapons blazing in retaliation. Explosions bloomed in silence against the backdrop of stars as the first Vorkarian ships fell to their enhanced firepower. In engineering, Ward's fingers flew across alien interfaces, coaxing every ounce of power from the newly integrated technology, diverting additional energy to weapons and shields. He reported over the comms. But sir, we're pushing these systems beyond their limits. I don't know how long they'll hold. A violent tremor shook the ship as a barrage from Kaid's dreadnought struck home. Sparks showered from overloaded consoles, and klaxons blared their urgent warnings. Shields at 40%, an ensign called out, his voice tight with tension. Novak's eyes narrowed as he studied the tactical display. There, he said, pointing to a formation of enemy cruisers. Their flank is exposed. Reeves, concentrate fire on that weak point. Let's punch a hole in their line. The Supercarrier's weapons recalibrated, focusing their assault on the designated target. Vorkarian ships crumbled under the onslaught, creating a gap in their defensive formation. Now's our chance, Novak declared. Full power to engines. Take us straight for Kaid's dreadnought. The ship surged forward, plowing through the debris of fallen enemies. On the bridge, crew members gripped their stations as G-forces pressed them into their seats. Kaid's massive vessel loomed before them, its weapons turning to track their approach. Sir, Reeves called out, I'm detecting a power buildup in their main cannon. If that hits us... It won't, Novak cut him off. Execute attack pattern Delta. Bring us in close, too close for them to use that weapon effectively. The Supercarrier dove and rolled, weaving through a storm of enemy fire. Its own weapons lashed out, striking at the dreadnought's vulnerabilities with surgical precision. Inside the enemy vessel, alarms blared as systems failed under the relentless assault. Kaid, the infamous Vorkarian commander, watched in disbelief as his seemingly impregnable flagship began to crumble around him. On the Supercarrier's bridge, a cheer went up as the dreadnought's main cannon exploded in a brilliant flash of light. We've got them on the ropes, Reeves announced, unable to keep the excitement from his voice. Novak allowed himself a grim smile. Press the attack. Don't let up until... His words were cut short as Oracle's synthetic voice filled the bridge. Warning. Detecting massive energy signature from the dreadnought's core. Possible self-destruct sequence initiated. Time seemed to slow as Novak processed the implications. All power to engines and shields, he roared. Get us out of here now! The Supercarrier's engines flared white-hot as it strained to put distance between itself and the doomed dreadnought. Behind them, Kaid's flagship erupted in a cataclysmic explosion, the shockwave expanding outward with terrifying speed. Brace for impact, Novak called out, gripping his command chair as the wave of destruction bore down on them. The shockwave struck with the force of a supernova, battering the Supercarrier's already weakened shields. Systems overloaded, plunging the ship into darkness. For a moment, there was only the sound of groaning metal and the ship's hull straining against the onslaught. Then gradually, emergency lights flickered to life. Novak blinked away the spots in his vision, taking in the devastation around him. Status report, he demanded, his voice hoarse. Multiple systems offline, Reeves responded, checking his damaged console. Shields are down, weapons are offline. We're operating on emergency power. And the Vorkarians? A tense silence fell over the bridge as they waited for sensors to come back online. Finally, Reeves spoke, his voice filled with disbelief. "Sir, they're gone. Keith's dreadnought took out most of their fleet when it went up. The rest are in full retreat." The implications of their victory began to sink in. They had done it. Against overwhelming odds, they had defeated Kaid and his armada. The Supercarrier, battered but unbroken, had lived up to its promise as humanity's last hope. But Novak knew this was only the beginning. As repair crews scrambled to bring systems back online, he turned to Dr. Ward. "Get to work on those communications arrays. It's time to rally what's left of humanity. We've won the battle, but the war against the Vorkarians is just getting started." Ward nodded, determination etched on his face. "Aye, sir. We'll have the word out to every resistance cell and human enclave we can reach." As the Supercarrier limped away from the battlefield, its crew began the arduous task of preparing for the next phase of their struggle. The Vorkarians had been bloodied, but Novak knew they would return with a vengeance. It was up to them to ensure humanity was ready to face the coming storm.
You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.